Good afternoon, everyone, and this is George Sadi here from MortgageDashboard, and thank you for coming to our borrower portal webinar. And today we actually are going to show you our new and updated borrower portal and go through an in-depth demo and how it can be utilized. And then the second, I'll get things started off with giving you an idea as you see the borrower portal, what is we have available now. And then our goal is between now and all the way going into October is to really create a completely automated point of sales for your borrowers, and also the ability for you to communicate with your borrowers, and then also have the realtors be able to log in and also see the status of the loan. So we're starting obviously to show you, how you can have a complete 1003 that the borrower can take and see their statuses, and also show you how the once an application is completed, if you made the selection to have auto credit pool, it would automatically pool credit and auto populate the liability section like is currently happening. So the second step after that, the next feature that we're going to be released is would automatically run DU for you. Again, these are things that you will control. So in the things that I'm mentioning, you'll have an on and off switch that you can control directly. So if you do not want part of these automations that we're releasing, you have control to keep them off. So once the auto credit pool, then the next part that we're currently working on is for it to automatically run DU for you. Once DU is completed, then it will do the loan and product pricing on your behalf, and then afterwards, we then will move on to do the doc assembly. And the doc assembly is quite simple. We'll have the rules, and so instead of having a print group, it will know that if you're originating a loan, say Texas, and it's a purchase and it's a conventional, it would automatically assemble the disclosure package on your behalf, and then this is what you'll be able to send out. So you won't have to be clicking all the different buttons in order to assemble your disclosure package. And more importantly, after that one is done, then we're incorporating DocuSign e-signature. So once the package is automatically created, then you will be able to email the package via an e-signature. So also as part of this, within the consumer portal, or the borrower portal now is what we call it. We used to call it Check My Loan Status, and we have changed that now to our borrower portal, what is actually called MortgageCenter. So going forward, we'll be referencing it as MortgageCenter, what we used to be labeled, consumer portal. Once we have all these automated steps in place, then we would add the ability for a consumer to be able to upload a document on the MortgageCenter, and then it will come down into your e-briefcase, because the account, will be definitely tied into you. And then the other part is it will be a message center there for the consumer. So you could also, send messages, and in the future we have the ability, to display certain information, that are non-loan related information for them. So as part of this, expansion, we also want to make sure that we have also a realtor view. So as your borrowers that are referred to you by a realtor, he would also be able to see and have his own pipeline of the loans that he or she referred to you, to be able to see, the status and be able to see what's going on with that loan. And then finally, as part of this whole package, then we're taking this whole steps and introducing and moving everything to a mobile device. So currently, if you have a iPad or a tablet, or an Android tablet, everything that you see being demoed today in the Mortgage Center, you actually will be able to do on a tablet. In other words, you'll be able to have a tablet with you and sit in front of a borrower and take the application on the tablet, and then have the auto credit proof for you. So that certainly will help. Now, of course, you will need an internet connection, so that also will come quite helpful. So let me now turn it over to Jeremiah, and Jeremiah is going to go through the whole process with you, and then at the end we'll just go ahead and open it for questions. So feel free, to have all your questions, and we'll do that towards the end. Jeremiah?
So we're going to go ahead and start by looking at the borrower side of the Mortgage Center. So right here I am on the sign-in page. So this is where the borrower is going to come and sign in and register an account with the Mortgage Center. Now I'll show you where you're going to be able to find your own personal URL here shortly, but every loan officer is going to have their own personal website link, and that's what you're going to be able to use to tie to websites, email signatures, and wherever else that you would use the online application or want to link out to that. The borrower is going to come in here, input their basic information just to go ahead and get registered. Once they have done that registration, they're going to go ahead and answer just 3 authorization questions for Point Credit, the Patriot Act, and at that point they will be taken to page 1 of the online application. If they do ask, I know it's a common question, you can see that it is the website is secured by the GeoTrust, and it is in an HTTPS session. So I know I've gotten those questions in the past, and so if they ask, then you can point them to those security features as well. Now, if the borrower is already registered, then they're going to be able to come in and just sign back in and re-access this information at any point, pick up the application where they left off, or view some loan information. So we'll go ahead and take a look at those screens right now. And then you can see that the websites are branded to the individual loan officer. So they'll be able to tell that it is the individual loan officer and company that they were intending to apply with. All right, so once they register, they're going to be taken to a 9-page online application. It's going to be in a subway stop format, so before they can complete pages 2, 3, 4, 5, etc., they have to have completed at least all of the required fields on the page before that. So they'll come through, and you can see it's essentially broken down of the 1003, and we've just broken it down into 9 separate pages instead of the 3 pages that you're used to in the loan origination system. So you can see here on page 1, we've got the information where they can capture the borrower and the co-borrower information. And then at that point, they'll be able to either continue, or at any point if they need to, they can save and finish later and then come back in and pick up the application at a later point. And then again here you can see that you've got the company logo branding as well as the loan officer information here at the bottom of the screen. So once they complete all that information, they can just go ahead and hit continue, and it'll continue to move them through the application section here. So page 2, this is where they can get in their present, previous mailing addresses, things like that. And so this is essentially going to take them through the full application, as you'll see as we go through each of the pages. Now, once a borrower has created an account, you will immediately receive notification that the borrower has created an account. So you're going to get an email notification with both their phone number and the email address that they registered with. So you're going to be able to reach out and contact them immediately, even if they're still in the process of completing the application. And then at the end, they're going to come back around and actually you'll get another notification that will confirm that they have completed the application. So you're going to know as soon as they register all the way through to when they've actually completed page 9 of the application. So here they can input the loan and the property information, go ahead and put in their current present expenses. On page 4, they're going to be able to come in and complete borrower's current employer information, previous employment information for both the borrower and the co-borrower. Page 5, they're going to be able to come in and put in their liquid assets. If it's a purchase, then they can put in, if they've already put money down, they can put in what their cash deposit was. Any additional asset information here as well that they can complete. And then all of this is going to populate into the 1003 for you. Page 7, they've got a space for the REO, so they can come in and complete any properties that they own information. Page 8, we've got dedicated just to the declarations for them to complete. And then page 9 is going to have the government monitoring information, and then this is where they're going to come in and acknowledge the application before they hit submit. And so once they hit this submit option right here, then it's going to go ahead and send you another notification. It's going to let you know if that they have completed the application. If you have the auto credit pull feature on as well, it's going to send you notification if credit was able to successfully pull for the borrower or not. And then what it's going to do is it's actually going to go ahead and lock down the fields so that they can only come in and view those. So at this point, the application can now be manipulated and updated and changed on your end within the loan origination system, but the borrower is now just kind of in a view-only state at that point. So once they have applied, then at any point that they can come back in, they can log in, and they can view the different pages of the 1003. These are going to update real time as well, so as you update the different fields, finish out the application, make adjustments, get appraised values, whatever the case is, then those values are going to populate as well. So they can always essentially see what their 1003 is on an up-to-date process. And then they're also going to have access to the loan information page. So on the loan information page, you can see that we have given them a variety of information, just basic information about their loan. So they can come in, see what the status is of their loan, what the interest rate, loan amount information as that gets filled up, and that's going to update real time for them as well. And when we jump over into the LOS side, I'll talk to you about kind of the conditions to close and the other features. So you're going to be able to post conditions to close to them. So this is something that you're going to be able to come in and type in the conditions that you want the borrower to see. That will allow them to come in and view what those different conditions are, and that's going to kind of tie into the other features where they can come in, see what's outstanding, where their status is, upload documents, things like that. And then this is a place where they're going to have a section to type in and leave notes with you that's going to go into your borrower notes pipeline as well. So again, they can come in. It's branded to the loan officer, so you're going to have the company name, the loan officer information on this page as well. And then again, they can come in, see their loan information, or if they want to and view the actual individual pages of the application, then they can do that at any time that they need to as well. So what I want to go ahead and do is now show you the options in the loan origination system as far as how it's going to apply to you as the loan officer. So when the application is created, it is going to generate a new application ID into your prospect pipeline. So again, you're going to receive automatically an email that's going to notify you that the application has been started and completed. It's going to automatically populate into your prospect pipeline, and so you can access it and start working on the application at any point, even if the borrower is not finished all the way through from page 9. So essentially, if you need to, you can come in and actually complete out the application just by accessing it into your prospect pipeline and working on it just like you would any other application ID, whether you did the credit application or not. Also, as a note, the email application is going to be sending out the link to the Mortgage Center application. So when you're sending out the email application feature through the pipeline option, it's going to automatically be sending the link to that individual that will take them into your direct Mortgage Center online application link. So there's been a couple settings that will be added into the loan origination system for you already that you'll want to take a look at. So if you go in and log in and hit on the Settings tab, you're going to want to go to the Extensions section of the settings. And then you're going to see two tabs that you want to take a look at. There's the Check My Loan Status Settings tab. So here's where you can come in and you can browse and upload a loan officer photo. Not required, but you can go in and upload a photo that you want to display on your individual link. Right here is going to be where you can find that individual link to your specific online application. So this is the link if you want to update email signatures, if you want to attach it to websites or whatever the case is. So you can just come right in here, click on the Check My Loan Status settings, click on this URL, and then you can just copy and paste that to wherever you need to go. And this is also where you're going to enable the auto pull option. So if you want borrowers that complete applications to have the option of having credit automatically pulled as soon as they finish the application, they do need to complete all the way through to page 9 before that application is going to pull credit on them. So they do need to have completed page 9. But if you want to enable that feature, then you'll want to go into your settings, into this extension section, and go ahead and enable the auto pull option as well. So you can just come in here, save those settings. And then the other option as well is going to be on the email template. So this is going to be what drives the email that the borrower receives when they complete the application. So when they complete the application, they're going to receive an email that lets them know that we've received the application. So you can come in here and you can actually modify and update this application response to be whatever you want it to be. So you've got a full email template editor here available, a variety of different auto response fields that you can put in there. So it'll populate the borrower's information. It can populate your information. If you want to add a needs list to the response as far as what documentation you're going to be asking for, or just to put in, personalize the application, then you can come into this email template, set up what the subject is, all the different fields, and just make that look like however you want. So that's completely customizable for anyone. And then if you want to, this reset button here, we'll just take that back to the default option as well. So you can come in here, just use the default, or go ahead and just customize that to be whatever it wants. So again, this is going to drive what the borrower is going to receive. And so again, so everyone that's going to want to use the Check My Loan Status, the Mortgage Center application, you're going to want to come in, make sure that you've got the URL linked out to whatever email, websites, your signatures, whatever the case is. Enable auto pull for credit if you want to, and then upload a photo as well. If you have branding, the benchmark logo has already been added to the admin settings, so you don't have to worry about adding the benchmark logo. That's been added at the company level. But you will want to look at the settings here in the email template if you want to make changes to that. And so that's the overview of the Mortgage Center application. So I wanted to go ahead and open it up to questions here. So just go ahead, type those into the questions box, and we will take a look at those. And so we do have a question as far as adding a lock expiration date to this section. So yeah, that's something we could very easily add to the loan information section as well. One thing also I just wanted to point out too is that we have added a section for the online application to the support ticket. So if you want to, just working with it, if you have any kind of feature request or you'd like to add a field here or make any adjustments like that, we just encourage you to come in, open up a support ticket. You can select the Check My Loan Status feature request option here and just let us know what you're looking to add or change. And then that will, we can get back to you and let you know what we can do, because again, we do want feedback and want to make it as, the kind of system that is going to work exactly for everyone out in the field's needs. All right. George, we have a question on can we add attachments for the, I believe it's for the email response. I don't think that's supported at this time on the email templates. Is that right?
No, that is correct. That's going to be part of when we're going to roll out the enterprise e-briefcase to all the branches. You'll be hearing an announcement in the first week of June. And once we implemented the enterprise level e-briefcase, then you'll have the ability to make the attachment and upload the documents. In order to do that, you will need to have the enterprise e-briefcase out at the branch level.
All right, so we have a question on do we have to hand type in the needs list, or can those be automatically populated in? So now the conditions to close, those do need to be hand typed in, or if you want to, you can take from WebTrack, you can copy and paste whatever conditions you want the borrower to actually see, and you can paste those in just on the ones that you want them to see. Eventually, as we make the migration into a one unified system, then we'll probably have a way that you can actually select which particular conditions are viewable to the borrower or not. Now on the email template, once you set those, if you want to set in any kind of needs list into the email template response, then that's going to just be static based on, you can set that and it's going to just stay that way on each response. And then there is a question as far as multiple autoresponder templates. At this time, we've just got the one email template, so it is going to, you can customize it so as far as it's going to be personalized, but it's going to be one response that applies to everyone that completes an application on the website.
Right. And whoever made that request, again, what Jeremiah showed you up on the help desk, please make that request. I think that's a good request. We actually have thought about doing that, and we're simply rolling out this in phases. So in other words, each month you will see a series of updates and upgrades to it. So sometime in the next dashboard production deploy, probably the third week of June, and going forward, we'll definitely keep you updated. But progressively, we'll essentially what we wanted to do just have a continuous way of improvement to let everyone get started, get used it, have kind of like a basic rollout, and then improve it to let everybody not be hit with 40 for the learning curve not to be that difficult and have a lot of things to learn. It's just get a hold of it and then just grow with it, if you will.
And then we do have the question of does the application allow the borrower to complete items and type in things such as numbers into the name field and things like that to prevent mistakes? The
validation?
Yes.
The validation is going to be it will be completed by tomorrow, but it will not be deployed until the first week of June. In other words, June the 2nd, June the 3rd is when we're going to go ahead and deploy the validation. We don't want to make any deployment at the end of the month. As you're all aware, I think you'll be happy that we'll do that. We don't want to interfere just in case anything goes wrong. We don't anticipate anything going wrong, but just to be on the safe side, as a practice, we never really make any updates to the system at the end of the month.
I do have the question of, will we have the option to allow borrowers to enter the credit card for the credit check? That's actually something that we'll probably need to talk with benchmark compliance, because I have not heard that that is an option that they're allowing on the individual, like on the loan origination side, as far as collecting the borrower's credit card. So it's definitely a feature that we can enable, but we'll also have to kind of do some checking on that from a compliance standpoint. All right, and then we do have a question on what possible status changes are available. So right now the status is going to mirror the status that you see within the pipeline. So it's going to have application created, submitted to processing. When it gets moved into the closed pipeline, then it'll show as closed. And then as we move into the unified system, we have dozens more different statuses that are going to be very granular, from submitted to underwriting and clear to close, funded, docs out. So you're going to be seeing a lot more status options coming available here soon. All right, that's the last question I see on the board, so just wanted to kind of give one last opportunity for someone to get in their questions here before we wrap up the call. That's going to be the same thing as far as the question is what happens when the loan is denied. It's going to be the same thing. The borrower is going to be able to see the loan. They don't have the ability to change it or anything like that, but they will see the status has been moved into the denied pipeline. And so, again, this status will be updating real time based on what happens with the loan, whether it be approved, denied, it's just sitting in pre-approval, whatever the case is. All right, so the question is, will we be able to integrate this into our sites? I'm going to assume that we mean the loan officer websites. So yes, you can integrate this into the loan officer website. You'll need to provide the link to Check My Loan Status to Nick so he can update that link. It is going to open up in a new window, but it can be integrated in and attached to your loan officer website. So when they click on the Apply Now option, then it will bring up the Mortgage Center online application. And again, just as a reminder, if you need that link to your unique site, then just go into your settings section, click on Extensions, and then just look under the Check My Loan Status Settings tab section right here. And that's the website link that you're going to need to link out to. All right, just last call for any questions before we, okay, so this question is, where does it do the privacy policy show again? This is actually when they first register an application, then they're going to go ahead and get prompted with those questions. Let's go ahead and go through that real quick. And it looks like I typed too fast for my own good. My passwords didn't match. Go ahead. I can't seem to type in the same password twice. Yeah, there's no way. So once they've signed in, then they're going to go ahead and get the different authorization checks, and they cannot actually get to the 1003, the page 1 of the 1003, until they have actually agreed to each one of these authorizations. And so they're not actually going to be able to get to page 1 of the 1003 until they've actually completed those questions. Is a question, yes, we are recording this, so we will have those posted and send out a link to that as well. Now, the system is going to verify that they have provided an email. The question is, will the system check? It's going to check that it was in a valid email format, so they do have to enter an actual valid email format. But of course, we're not going to know necessarily if it's an actual live email being monitored by the borrower.
Correct.
I do have a question of, will there be tooltips for all fields?
Yes, one of the things that we're thinking is it's more like we're thinking of putting not so much the tooltips, but a little quick video that they can click there and then just watch, a quick video how to complete the application. But certainly we can also implement, when we see, one of the things is that we can image capture how things work on our A and B image capturing, and when we see that there are people get stuck and stuff like that, we definitely can implement tooltips.
So we have a question of if they have to withdraw or decline a borrower and then they have to reapply, will they be given new portal access? No, what we're going to be adding support for the same borrower to have multiple applications. So the goal is where they only have one application, even if you have multiple loans for the same borrower. Then we do have the suggestion of adding a "How did you hear about us?" or a referral partner reference box where they can input who had referred them to the site. So again, that's a great feature. I would recommend if you could submit that as a feature request if that's something that you'd like to add. And this is the best way for us to keep track of them and also let you know when the feature is going to be live and available as well.
Right. Once you open the support ticket, actually any support ticket, including feature requests, really what it allows us to do is to be able to track it, and as we assign our work to our development team, once we close them out, usually either Jeremiah or Brandon will be more than happy, to communicate not only via the ticket, but send you a separate email saying, especially a feature request, hey, this is now available for you. And of course, we'll also, notify everyone that it's available, company-wide for that feature.
And do you have the question of, do they get a pre-approval when the 1003 is completed? The only thing that the borrower is going to get automatically when the loan is completed is the email response template. So as far as getting actual pre-approvals, we were kind of talking about having auto credit pull and auto DU runs and things like that. That's something that we can look at in the future, and then as maybe something being available. But again, at that stage, you'd really have to have the point where you've gone all the way through probably at least DU before we could actually make that kind of determination if they should be sent one or not.
But that's an excellent question, and I would like to expand on that, because I think with that question, they basically have hit upon where we're going with this. Our goal with this is really to free your time to automate the point of sale as much as possible, and this is why all these suggestions, since you guys are on the front line, day in and day out, and you want to save time, so you're better put your time and resources, either marketing more on out there to your realtors and to your clients, and B, being able to spend the save time with your clients, being more in a counseling mode, rather than just being a drone and saying, how much do you make and stuff like that. You can actually, when you intake the app, then you can do more of the planning. But the goal is as much as we can automate, the repetition, of the data entry and of everything that you currently have to do, in the computer or log into dashboard or type the information. The more we can automate that, actually, the more time you will have, to be more effective. So by all means, please do send all those suggestions, where we can help you expedite, if you will, that process for you. In other words, and sometimes the little things, make a big time saver, right? And that's what we're looking for. All these items that, you're doing over and over again, if we can automate the process. We already have the framework built to start automating the process, so it's just a matter for us, to always clear it with compliance. I work very closely, and so does Jeremiah, with the compliance, both with our attorney and Danielle, who's our compliance person. And we work very, very closely, A, to make sure that it's compliant, and B, that once they given it their blessing, then we can take it into development and take it out out to you, and that's the most critical part is is keeping it in compliance. So later on, if you ever have an audit or stuff like that, nobody wants to say, well, due to this, we had this issue. But again, I was strongly encouraged that anything that you think that we want to automate that borrower portal, if you will, and that's what we call it, the Mortgage Center, because essentially, we want to make sure that the whole process and the whole communication is there. And at the end, if you all hold off, I want to talk to you a little bit, but I'll ask Jeremiah after we do all the questions. I just want to feed you in on a few little things and would like to hear your feedback, but I want the recording turned off since it's not exactly related to this.
So it looks like that's the last question I've got up on the board. So just one last chance if anyone has any other questions. I think also to just kind of tie up on that as well is just the work as far as making it a tablet-friendly web service as well. So whether you completing it for the borrower completing it themselves, we are making sure that that's available for both Android and iPad tablets. All right, so it doesn't look like we have any more questions coming in, so I wanted to thank everyone for attending. Of course, again, if you have any feedback or anything like that, we just highly encourage everyone to use the ticket system. It's got its own category here for those suggestions or any other kind of feedback on the system as well, and that's going to be the best way for us to get back to you. So appreciate everyone for attending. We are recording it, so we'll try to get that posted here pretty soon for anyone that wasn't able to make it or missed part of it. All right, so thanks everyone, and have a good afternoon.